Yours truly, Adrian H. Dragonborn, being reborn as yours truly, Adrian Hannah Dragon. Androgynous, pansexual founder of the dancing goddess and the Dragon Empire, which are one empire under the sun, under the stars on earth. His missions, visions, and philosophies intersect, complement in a covenant, complementary, cooperative way in order to attain world peace, international justice, by securing global freedom. The Phoenix People's Party, the anti-war, anti-poverty, anti-racism, pro-love, universal, revolutionary, centrist party. Revolutionary centrism, democratic fusion, to attain harmony between the public and the private spheres and domains and interests. Long struggle of the 20th century. Adrian Hannah Dragon's dancing goddess and dragon empire, one empire under the sun, is non-sectarian. Non-sectarian in any ways, financially, economically, politically, revolutionary, or otherwise, as long as it operates by the principles of securing freedom. Securing freedom means we gotta secure basic elements of survival for all our brothers and sisters, of which the three main are food, housing, and transport. And this will be the mission of the Dragon Army, paradoxically, just as envisioned. A paradoxical providential parallel way in my scenario, which I've begun as a paradoxical, again, as a world peace advocate, independent student scholar of history, wars, geopolitics, and civilizations, and as an independent security analyst and theorist. Back in 2019, when I've created the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, of which I'm going to be a little bit performing today, doing a little bit of workout. When I've created, of course, the program was designed, created to go hand in hand with the World War III scenarios, yours truly, took into consideration what had transpired up to that moment in time. Namely, the US-China trade war began, initiated by Donald Trump to impose tariffs in 2018 on more than 665 billion worth of goods from China. Retaliation from China thereof. The arrest of Meng Wanzhou by Canadian authorities to honor an extradition treaty with the USA. Arrest of Meng Wanzhou, aka Kathy Meng, who should be a dancing goddess, rainbow, with a lion there, and or this painted rainbow, as yours truly is a rainbow dragon. Anyways, so back when I created the workout, which was designed, made, and created to go hand in hand with a World War III scenario, based on the aforementioned.
Non, assis-toi à côté de ton frère, où est-ce que t'étais? Assis-toi là.
Oh, mais Romy a pris ma place, c'est là que j'étais. J'étais félicite. Oh, non, c'est bon. Et ça, c'est là, là. Ah, Romy a fait tout dans la guimauve. Ah, qui ça sent la guimauve? Ah, ça sent la guimauve. Ici, ça sent la guimauve.
OK. Ça sent la guimauve.
Oui. Ici, ça sent la guimauve. Ici, si vous achetez ici.
Ça sent la guimauve parce que tes cuisses sont un peu
Back in 2019, when I've commenced the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the 300 workout, I've of course designed it, created, and made it to go hand in hand with a World War III scenario, which in an eerie, paradoxical, providential way resembles the COVID-19 health and financial crisis. And of course, the paradox is that I've did it as a world peace advocate, although as an independent student scholar of history, wars, geopolitics, and civilizations. I based it on real life events which had transpired up to that moment in time, like I've said aforementioned, and historical events such as Pearl Harbor, but mainly in October 2019. Geopolitical the crisis which was ongoing was of course the US-China trade war, began and started by the Trump administration in 2018, and of course the other arrest of Meng Wanzhou, the chief financial officer of Huawei, who had overtaken Apple and Samsung to become the biggest telecommunications equipment maker, smartphone telecommunications and internet infrastructure telecommunications maker in the world, had overtaken Apple and Samsung. Huawei, founded by the father of Meng Wanzhou, who was arrested in order to honor an extradition treaty with the United States back in December 1st, 2018, and consequently the arrest of Michael Spavor, Michael Kovrig, by authorities in China. And of course, recently last week, escalating the tensions was the arrest of Michael Spavor, that is sentencing of 11 years in prison in China. So the arrest of two Michaels. So taking those factors aforementioned into consideration, US-China trade war, retaliation by China, deterioration of Sino-Canadian, Sino-North American, and Sino-Western relations. Yours truly, world peace advocate, independent student, scholar of history, wars, geopolitics, and civilizations. and independent security analysts and theorists have taken those into consideration and have began what is known as the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, which was made, created, and designed to go hand in hand with a World War III scenario based on the aforementioned geopolitical events which had transpired up to that moment in time. US-China trade war, and Gonzal's arrest, to Michael's and other, more recently it seems that predictions. So 93 days later, COVID-19 health and financial crises hit the world, and paradoxically, in a paradoxical providential way, in my scenario, what triggers World War III is a stock market crash, a global financial collapse. Just like parallel, it happened due to COVID. The stock market crash began February 20th, 2020, and ended about April 7th of that same year, triggering recessions and depressions worldwide. Paradoxically, in my scenario, what triggers World War III is a stock market crash and a global financial collapse, resembling exactly in an eerie manner. And since in my scenario I envisioned the solution, that's what I began advocating for since July 24th, 2020. The creation of the International Citizen Integrated Social Security Force, aka the Dragon Army, in order to secure the three elements of civilization: food, what you're gonna eat, starving if it weren't for the farmers. Even I had to admit how useless I can fucking be without my brothers and sisters, farmers, to feed my ass. Or we eating each other. Appreciate every piece of food you eat and you got. And remember that it is the dancing goddess who dances with her brother the sun that makes all fruits, vegetables, legumes that are harvested by our brothers and sisters, farmers, for us to build, maintain, or upgrade civilization. Just like in the past as it is today. I said to myself during COVID, admitting things that are sometimes out in the dark. It's best they come in the light and you deal with them straightforward and direct. I am not perfect, far from it. The sword of freedom is too heavy for me to lift with my tiny hand. My hands are too tiny to lift the sword of freedom by myself. And no man or woman is worthy to lift the sword of freedom unless they had conquered their internal drives, admitted their so-called weaknesses, their so-called struggles, whatever it is. For me, it was being homosexual, bisexual. Hard to admit some things, eh? I wouldn't like knowing it all because I'd be depressed. I would know all your lies, all your deeds. I'll be about depressed. Ain't easy, ain't it? Freedom. 20th century had seen millions of Western civilization dying for the seven word FREDOM. So securing freedom, the Dragon's Army mission, vision, and philosophy. Once we have secured food, housing, and transport for all, we can encourage people to work out, train, volunteer, exercise, do community work. I realized how fucking useless my ass could be without food. I never farmed in my life. So during COVID, said all this can go down the drain. Grateful for every piece of food that you eat. It's holy, sacred, and divine. It's not easy to admit certain things, is it? We're at a play of deceive ourselves in the dark. Keep deceiving ourselves. That's what we're good at. In March, Hawk Island Montreal, and sing you a rock song. Perhaps with a little rap in it. Nobody is born a dragon. Not even myself with a surname Dragon, D-R-A-G-A-O. D-R-A-G-A-N, pronounced like Reagan. Blood, sweat, and tears to turn that A into an O. The motto of the Dragon Army incorporates a philosophy. You can be an ally. You can be a supporter, support securing food, housing, and transport for all via public-private partnership. Nobody is born a dragon. Not even yours truly with a surname Dragon here on this Hawk Island, Montreal. Struggled with chronic illness, addiction, precarious employment, loneliness. The libraries of the city of Hawk Island became my second home and got proof. Thousands of books that took out in the many past years from the libraries, Hawk Island, Montreal. The books became my friends. Sun's shining. It's raining a little bit. So the motto of the Dragon Army is nobody is born a dragon, not even myself, surname D-R-A-G-A-N. At the end to turn that O and that A into an O. It's D-R-A-G-A-N. Blood, sweat, and tears. And thousands of push-ups. Thousands of squats. Thousands of hawks. So, blood, sweat, and tears to turn that A into an O. And the motto, nobody is born a dragon, lies to the Dragon Army's motto. The philosophy is that it's not via heredity, race, creed that you become a dragon, and to become a dragon you must admit certain things that others don't. Fears, hidden struggles, lusts, things you wrestle with in the night. See, that is part of Hawk Island there. See the river? Big river surrounding Hawk Island, Montreal. And do some workout here, and do some more squats. Squat hop. The motto, nobody is born a dragon. You become one. This is my surname, Dragon, D-R-A-G-A-N, to blood, sweat, and tears, thousands of push-ups, thousands of squats, thousands of hawks. Turn that A into an O. The motto, of course, embodies a specific fun essence philosophy, because you can be an ally of the dancing goddess in the Dragon Empire, support attaining harmony between civilization and nature with dancing. Yours truly, Adrian H. Born, died during COVID. Get tested, get vaccinated, encourage all hygiene. Carry open carry disinfectant. Get your 2 shots, got my 2 COVID. Right here, above the goddess tattoo. Lion, goddess, and phoenix. And 4th dimension, or in whatever way. A dragon. Nobody's born a dragon, you become one through blood, sweat, and tears, just like I did. I'm not a dragon because my biological father gave me surname Dragon. Matter of fact, I haven't seen, or perhaps never, been on my own for many years. Many years. Family, they're all willingly loving to be my family. Supporters, allies, Dragon Army, Dancing Goddess Army. Stating, writing, comment, and of course my official volunteer representative, Raziella Yell Work, gender neutral, Rainbow Raziella Yell Work, working on the pronunciation. Raziella Yell Work will of course get back to you. Montreal, Hawk Island, surrounded by a river. I'm gonna do some more squats there. Nobody's born a dragon, you become one. That's the motto of the Dragon Empire, the motto of the dancing goddess. These all fruits, vegetables, legumes are made, created, and produced by the dance of the goddess with her brother the sun. keep on moving. You know, we're gonna do a little bit of a danger terrain. Have to be careful not to fall. I'm going down on the margins. So I'm gonna grip this like this. I'm gonna go slowly, strategically, step by step, nature. Hey. Nature is our friend. Dancing Goddess Army. Yours truly androgynous priestess. Yet I said priestess. There's no god without the goddess. Goddess dances with her brother sun in his. These trees are but her hairs on the body. The sister of the one of infinite space, infinite stars above, who donated me to finance and found the World Bank of Love by a 93 trillion Brazilian kisses. All willingly loving allies from Priestess Hannah can get your kisses. See, another, as part of the, that's north, that's east, northeast Montreal. See, and that is Outremont. That is one of the three peaks, three mountains in the center south of the island. That's Outremont. This I am on Mount Royal, and that one there is Westmount. So we got Westmount, Mount Royal, where I am in Mount Royal, and that one is Outremont. So you got the three peaks, 1, 2, 3, Aleph, 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 and you can see there the river. Although what I'm filming with right now is not the best technology, but it's more important the message, the essence, the fundamental than perhaps being blurred by superficial. I admitted I dealt with superficial things too. Still dealing with them, of course, subconsciously, whatever XYZ. It's not easy, is it? Nobody's born a dragon, my brothers and sisters. Not even yours truly. More squash hawks. And we shall continue. So there's a gate here. We shall continue with our march. See, this is overlooking the northwest, north, and northeast. That's east. That's east there, west, north, west, east, north. Motto of the Dancing Goddess Army is all ALL fruits, vegetables, legumes are made, created, and produced by the dance. of the goddess or her brother the sun, as they were made and produced back in ancient Egypt and harvested by brothers and sisters back then, 3,700 years ago or so. In that story with the mysterious Jacob who struggled all night, got injured, and became the surname, God bless, the surname Israel. Blessed to be named so through struggle, and as the story goes, he did get injured. Referring to Genesis chapter 32. He got injured, right? During the struggle. I got injured many a times. And of course, those fruits, vegetables, and legumes were made and produced by the goddess back then in ancient Egypt, as they are produced, made. Oh, got a hole. Produced, made. Produced, made, and created. Back not just in ancient Egypt, but produced, made. Produced, made in ancient Rome to build those aqueducts and those roads. In ancient China to build the Great Wall. I'm referring to the fruits like vegetables, legumes, even the black coffee drink that you drink right now watching this, or that I drank this morning, although it comes from a red berry, was made and produced and created by the dance of the goddess with her brother the sun, who makes and creates all fruits, vegetables, and legumes, and made them back in ancient Egypt to build those pyramids, to feed the workers that build the pyramids. Even the mighty one, Jacob, son, the story, of course, with the 12 tribes and the 13th Dinah, was a joke. In a past life, I was with Aleister Crowley, a rabbi, and a sex worker. Sex workers should be legalized as all drugs like cocaine, ecstasy, pills. I'm advocating for the legalization of cocaine, ecstasy, speed, not the hard drugs, just like in Portugal in the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire, to legalize the drugs with standard, of course, of sanitation and what have you. But in a past life was joking, having a mystic discussion. Me, as a seeker, half Jew, as I'm in this life back then as well. In 1930s, a Jewess, worker in a cabaret, burlesque dancer, which in 1937 was closed by the Nazis anyways in a past life. So overheard a discussion. Was Aleister Crowley, a rabbi and a Christian mystic, and they were discussing, and I came to serve them, and I served them some drinks, and I overheard the discussion. It was in the 1930s. I was dressed in green and red and scarlet. I was a woman in that past life, and I overheard the discussion. The discussion that they were speaking, they were discussing how the Moses destroyed, overturned the gods of Egypt. And so I joked, I was laughing, and they asked me, why do you laugh? I said, well, because you're talking about Moses, the Exodus, overthrowing the gods of Egypt. And he said, yes, why are you laughing? I said, well, I got a joke for you. And I said the joke to them, to the rabbi, Aleister Crowley, the world's greatest living ever poet, and another Christian, and a Christian mystic. Aleister Crowley was talking about his poetry. The rabbi and the Christian were discussing about Messiah, etc., etc., etc. And I, a burlesque entertainer, cabaret entertainer, sex worker, Jewess woman, said, well, thank goodness that Moses did not overturn or destroy all the gods of Egypt. And the rabbi asked, what? How come? Which one didn't he? And Carly said, yeah, which one didn't he? And the Christian, yeah, which one didn't he? So, well, Ra, the sun, if you would have the top chief god, it was Moses would have tripped on his stick. Not able to see. Anyways, so that's a little bit of a joke. So I said, thank goodness he didn't overthrow all of them. That one chief, the son of Ra, there's a Ra in the Torah, I wonder why. Anyways, mysteries, so many questions, few answers, telecommunications, satellites, Wi-Fi. I don't know it all. One thing I do know is that I've struggled past with suffering, pain, struggled with suicidal. Well, there's a place to do some more. We'll walk a little bit more. And I've learned, still learning every day, in a parallel life, science, innovation, and technology would have been a path, albeit diverged. Albeit I'm inviting Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos to my underground, humble room office and temple, and the fourth dimension to that trinity, room office and temple of the Dragon's Lair. To a cup of coffee, I can buy coffee on special, I can afford to give him some coffee. I got an affordable honey, a kilo for $5.99 a few months ago, so I could put him a little bit of honey, maybe a half a bagel too. And we'll ask a million questions, and we'll do push-ups together for world peace. That is my invitation. Invite all willingly living on this mountain, Mount Royal, here to make covenant of world peace, international justice by securing global freedom. A sword too heavy to lift by me with my tiny hands. All the big shoes because I found them, but tiny feet, tiny hands, and a tiny dick. Well, God is blessed. Well, don't worry, you're androgynous, so it's just a big ass clit. I said, fine. And she gave me a rap song that could be the best for 2021. Something about dragons, androgynous, rainbows. I don't know about hoes, yos, doing another show. Kiss and tell, I don't play that. With a gossip, I don't want none of that. Keep it, yo. Lies better once you admit it, huh? But you admit it, yep. You ain't gangster, gonna crush them like a bugs with the spots, warriors with the sun, huh? Build them upside down, whoop. That's the dragon rap for you clowns. I said the spirit of the heart of 2021 underground. Yep, I'll be still walking. Although I ain't got no money for the studio, you selfish ass bitches made your millions. Shut the fuck up, yo. With some food security. Housing. Ain't easy, is it? This is a beautiful poem that I have to read in French, to my French Canadian, and part Quebecois, of course. I'm gonna read it to you in French and then translate it. Hawk Island Montreal, we are bilingual, as am I multilingual, but love the French language, the Quebecois people. I will adopt them, and they adopted me long ago anyways. There's North America, Canada, and all willingly living NATO, North Atlantic, to organization member countries in Israel and beyond, all willingly living local, national, international, in non-sectarian manner. L'impression persiste, l'image se détache. Sous ce ciel d'onde, ce n'est pas la montagne que je regarde fuser. Cet aiguille d'ombre qui s'allonge, c'est moi. By François Turcotte. So it's a poem. Basically what it said. Under the impression persists, the image detaches itself. Under this sky of onde is the word translated as waves, but it's waves more as in the technical sense. Waves as in particle waves, or waves as in radio waves. It's not the mountain that I see fuse. It's that needle of shadow that elongates, it's me. And there was, of course, there or further down there. Oh no, I passed it. I went under. There's, of course, a poem about the sun, undethroned by no one. Otherwise, Moses would have tripped on his stick. He would have dethroned the top on Ra. Oh God, whatever name we might give it, universal. Nobody's born a dragon. Let's go. Oh. Continue marching. You can do it. Securing food, housing and transport by the Dragon Army to be formed from all willingly loving. Doctrine just like envisioned in my scenario, which in a nearly providential paradoxical way resembles the COVID-19 health and financial crises, predates it by about 93 days since the first session of the General War Integrated Total Body Training System was held. See terrain was held October 17th, 2019. I've done 213 up to this moment in time, August 17th. And initially I was planning to do 300 sessions because, of course, the reaching 300 will be the plateau of potential muscular lean fitness development. And after 300 sessions, although I still feel it when I do it now, so perhaps even after 300 it will still be effective. I'm referring to the growth. Because after you do a few hundred sessions, 200 sessions, you unleash a, let's do some more. You unleash a natural lean metabolic growth rate. Squat hawks. So I've done 213 and initially planned to do 300 sessions. So technically, in theory, got 87 to go. Don't know if I'm going to complete them by the 2-year anniversary, which is going to be October 17, 2019, but I'm not going to stop. This one, I could count it as one, although I'm not doing push-ups, I'm doing squat hawks. Well, this one will just be a general war integrated total body training system. Could even do with some rocks. This is about 5 pounds, 6 maybe. Maybe even more. I'll say 6 and 5, maybe 11 pounds together, maybe less. So here you can find things to work out with in nature. My eye. See? 31. There we go. We continue marching. And so initially set out to do 300 sessions of the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the 300 workout. I'm gonna keep doing it. This one's gonna be a General War Integrated Total Body Training System, but since I'm not doing the push-ups, of course these are the rules of the General War Integrated Total Body Training System. You gotta do and required of anybody willingly loving to be a member of the Dragon Army, including existing NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization member countries and nations. Calling Israel to be the 31st NATO member country and nation. NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Member country, nation. And of course, these are the rules. You got 93 minutes, that's an hour and a half plus 3 minutes, 93 minutes to do 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 hawks, a maximum of 13 reps per set, minimum 3. Those two numbers go together, 13 and 3. Squat hawks. And there's a minimum requirement of 31 seconds marching, jogging, walking fast pace in between those. So you can do anywhere between 13 maximum and 3 minimum. I've been doing regular 10 repetitions per 10 sets. 10 times 10 is easy count to get to 100. I'm averaging about an hour to complete it with the minimum requirement. Marching, jogging, walking fast pace, running 31 seconds minimum in between. So once you start the clock, 93 minutes, there's no pause, there's no stop. You do 100 push-ups, you gotta do 100 squats, 100 hawks. That is the trinity of exercises: push-ups, squats, and hawks. And now, just gonna ramble a bit. You should excuse me, but nature calls, and by the time I get to the washroom, I'm gonna wet my pants, so I'll be excused for a minute. And Archangel said, want to see how far you go. Well, I'm not in competition with anybody. As I said when I started my fitness journey, I've been cooperation. I've been calling for the mass. And I'm calling for the mass MAS financing of my brothers and sisters, local, national, and international, to work out, train, exercise, get fit. Exercising, working out, training, and exercising has been, is, and will continue to be medicine and therapy for yours truly, as I believe it is for many. Have been, am, and will call specifically on our brothers and sisters, fellow athletes, of which yours truly is an independent athlete. But nobody commissioned or even gave me one donation via PayPal on my YouTube channel, although last time got the first comment. That person will make it this far with this video, watch it again. It says, indeed, it is what the description says on my YouTube. Raw, real, and revolutionary, passion, artistic, independent artist, athlete, and activist for world peace, international security, and security and global freedom. And raw and revolutionary, all those not edit. None of my videos you see that click, 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 click. You see that pause in many videos, they gotta edit. But that's okay, my brothers and sisters, because I understand we can be ashamed. Sometimes we say or we admit some things we don't want how others perceive us, when we are being watched or XYZ. And I understand, listen, I've been struggling 13.3 years my homosexual, erotic, interracial, bisexual desires and lusts. Still have, and I mean, I'm not struggling anymore because it's been more than 7 years that I'm out in the open about being rainbow dragon. But nonetheless, you know, the struggles and all, and from besides my friend, teacher, and one I love and call sister, many years, although I'm open to have other family, allies, and supporters. I don't got much family, biological. I've been on my own for many, many, many years. I don't hold any regrets, any grudges, any debts, or anything against my biological family XYZ. But the Dragon Empire is funded by yours truly, Adrian H. Born Dragon. Adrian H. Dragon born, being reborn during this COVID. Adrian Hannah Dragon, androgynous pansexual, founder of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Army. For world peace, I said get tested. I had COVID before mass testing was available, end of January 2020 until about February 20th. I was very sick, ill, and diseased. Tiny, tiny, small hands, small feet, and a tiny clit, androgynous rainbow to you. Kiss, kiss lips, kiss tricks, making love for peace. In ain't easy, put your fist up, get naked in the sun and dance. Dancing in the sun, dressed in green or dressed in scarlet. Scantly doesn't matter, no matter. Shame regardless, no sin but guilt, pleasure and hygiene. Get the purpose with the hygiene, clip and clapping on the lap. On the gods they gotta wear the gods, they say the goddess dances with her brother the sun, who's coming out as I'm singing to the one. Nations clash and empires falter, timpani but to thy dance. That's my father, Aristocrat. He said in the trance, in the poem, with the Lord a kiss. I got trillion kisses, 1 trillion kisses, although no money in my pocket for the studio. Got 1 trillion kisses from the goddess. Count the leaves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 millions of leaves on these trees are but the hairs of the goddess. And no, Moses did not destroy the god of Egypt. He's still rocking, and will rock after I'm gone regardless. Otherwise he would have tripped on the stick, right? I can hear a crow. I think it's a crow. So thirsty. Oh yeah. I do some dancing, and some arting, and some living, and some. I'll be doing some arting. Oh, the sun's coming out. That's nice. Yeah. Gonna do some working out, some more. Ah, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I need. Some sun while I'm peeling. Walking in the sun as the king dethroned by no one, as the joke goes. That I said when I was a burlesque dancer, sex worker in Berlin as a Jewess, when Crowley, a rabbi, and a Christian mystic were discussing the Exodus, and he said, well, as it says in Genesis, all that he destroyed, overturned the gods of Egypt. And I said, laughing, I laughed as a harlot, holy chore. I was laughing. I said, except the chief one, Ra. Because if he would have dethroned that one, when he tried to ascend the mountain or come down, he would have been tripping on his stick. You get it? Because he would not have been able to see during the day. Well, he wouldn't have been able to carve the tablets either. Isn't that a fact? Universal. I'm also universal spiritual teaching student because I'm learning every day. I do offend. I get offended. I get triggered. Perhaps you say blackened. All I see is this black sword hitting the left side of mine. Having a near fatal mortal head wound years ago, but paradox in a providential parallel way triggered what's called acquired savant syndrome. Acquired savant syndrome is a syndrome which affects a few people sometimes even after a traumatic brain injury. People develop new skills, acquire new knowledge, or their brain not only heals but becomes most powerful. I want to see how heavy this rock is. And so with acquired savant theory in a parallel life with a science, innovation, and technology would have been a chosen path. However, looks like a pyramid, doesn't it? And interesting that the pyramids are mysteriously tombs and temples, but they're still there, right? The have not been destroyed. Just gonna work a little bit with this. It's about, say, between 22 and 37 pounds. Maybe less than 36. Say more 22 about. even 15. It's gonna be my pyramid workout. Dust, turned into white ashes. I was joking that in a past life I was trying to show me a circle, how to draw a circle. And I said, well, you teach me all of this and I got one problem. I can draw pyramids, I can draw triangles, I can draw spirals. I have one problem. I cannot draw a circle. So all you taught me all these years gotta be put in my death from my birth, and vice versa from my birth and my death from past life and my death and my birth. The circle around the Balkans. I can't draw a circle around the Balkans. I can only carve it with this. Maybe it's 22 pounds. See. Well, this is gonna be type Dragon Zero's message to the leaders of the free world. Straightforward and direct, sometimes in philosophical and sophisticated, blah blah blah. But sometimes I'm straightforward and direct. Sometimes we should be. Life is short. It's an Israeli was Israeli in a past life. Served on a Moshe Dayan, one-eyed, and paradoxically, as I'm thinking about the when I was recently in the past months, I've been getting lots of dust, lots of hurting my left and my right eye, but God is blessed. Like dust or bugs or filth and stuff in my eye, but even as Moshe Dayan, when I was in the past life, served under him. I'm thinking that the other day I was writing about the Taliban, the paradox after so many decades that have overrun the Afghan US trained military army and have captured Kabul yesterday. And of course the Taliban, paradoxically, and this is an interesting paradox, was founded by Mullah Omar, the one-eyed warrior there. In '94, when he started assembling people, was to stop the practice the tribal warlord practice of what was called Bacha Basi, or dancing boys. And that's a beautiful white feather. Bacha Basi was a practice of sodomizing young boys. Young, or called Basha Basi, something like that. Pronunciation may be miscorrect, but you can read about it in the Wikipedia article. I read it a few days ago. So when he started assembling the Taliban in '94, of course it was disbanded to fight during the '80s war against the Soviets from the Mujahideen. He assembled the Taliban from '94 until they took power in '96, was to primarily to rally against that practice, right? And I got two left and right. Was paradoxically to rally against that practice of Basha Basi, where tribal warlords in Afghanistan had rights, privileges, and could, without being prosecuted by law or authorities, to sodomize young adolescent boys of 11, whatever the youngest age, let's say from 7 to 14 or so. Abbas, and he rallied against that. That was the initial, paradoxically, started at Taliban, right? A lot of initial things started. Some gangs also paradoxically started to defend or do certain issues, right? Against drugs or whatever, although yours truly, Adrian Hannah Dragon, androgynous pansexual founder of the dancing goddess who dances with her brother the sun and will dance long after I'm gone to make produce fruits. My name after I'm gone, Adrian Hannah Dragon. Now, allies and armies be blessed with healing, wealth, health, and joy, and strength and regeneration. To the rest, keep my holy, sacred, and divine name out of your mouth if it's not for a blessing. Oh yes, the sun's coming out now strong. It's a bit raining. And so paradoxically, it's a beautiful part of the mountain complex here, of which I'm coming down from, Montreal. But against the started Mullah Omar, he was one-eyed, right? We have only one photo of him, mysterious, with one eye. He got supposedly injured, from what we know. It could have been that one photo that we have, he just blinked or got some dust in his eye, and then he opened it, and that photo, from what we know, whatever. But nonetheless, the Taliban, of course, started rallying it because of that practice of warlords, tribal warlords were sodomizing young adolescent boys. The practice called Basha Basi, which was kind of like, think of feudal rights of first night, first bride, whatever. So paradoxically, paradoxically, when he rallied the Taliban was to, and he did manage to end that practice. So I was meditating on that, and recently, with the Taliban taking control of Kabul and almost all, if not all, of Afghanistan, and being the de facto rulers of Taliban after 20 years later, right? What a paradox. I guess battle-hardened warriors and just swept in just a few days, right? It was completely unexpected, and it's like lightning. Made me think of the blitzkrieg of the Nazis, Germany in the 39 when Poland fell in just a few weeks, and France in a few weeks. No, I have you. And oh, gonna do some here by the water. Of course, the contrast of the Dragon Army. So, a paradox, the Taliban being able to overrun so many forces, force more powerful, right? And oh, this is beautiful. And so paradoxically, the Afghan army being overrun so fast, I was thinking, of course, that the Dragon Empire, Dancing Goddess and Dragon Empire will be in, of course, contrast to the Taliban and is the Dragon Army, or truly Dragon Zero to all my allies and armies, and I was willingly loving. In my army, the soldiers can run naked if they will in public, and the women can dress how they will. Of course, if question of lust and being open and how you feel. You're lustful, go to public, or if you can't, you gotta go to public so you're not seeing it. Thing to be ashamed or guilty of. And love in all its forms, rainbow, lust, the interracial, homosexual, bisexual, and pansexual, of course, it's in contrast. So the women, the men, the dancing goddess, and the Dragon Empire can eat what they will. Of course, securing food, housing, and transport is a must in the dancing in the Dragon Empire. Can dress how they will, love how they will, who they will, where they will, but encourage hygiene and disinfecting and getting COVID vaccine, as I had COVID end of January until about February 20th. Yeah. So yours truly, the dancing goddess and the Dragon Empire, which are one empire under the sun, under stars on earth, is counter opposite to the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan and the Dragon Army and the Dancing Goddess Army. Dancing Goddess Army is all genders, all sexual orientation, all gender diverse, whether you identify as androgynous, both genders, as I do from being past lives, many genders, or bi-gender or gender fluid, or you can dress how you want. You can, of course, doesn't mean we can be regulations, rules, and principles. Securing food, housing, and transport for all via public-private partnership is a must. Once we have those three elements of civilization secured throughout the empire, the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire, we can encourage people to volunteer, work out, train, exercise, and build, maintain, or upgrade civilization, and socially reward people to volunteer, do community work, art, etc., dance and workout, which has been, is, and will be medicine and therapy for yours truly. I'm grateful for this water, and I'm thirsty that my brothers and sisters, engineers, using creativity of the human mind and science and engineering, and the water from the goddess, and the filters man-made to filter the water from the river St. Lawrence for me to drink, and built by the steel and plastic underneath. This Hawk Island Montreal knows how many miles all the system, and throughout the decades that were built since Montreal, actually in the 1930s, I think 1931, Hawk Island, formerly known as Montreal, Hawk Island, 1931 had 1 million people already living on the island proper, because there's the island and then there's the outskirts, Laval, South Shore, North Shore. On the island proper, where I've been living for many years, wrote thousands of poems in both French and English, songs, theory, studied, struggled, was lonely, depressed, suicidal. Thank God for my friend, who's oftentimes a teacher, and the one I love and call sister, to that trinity of sister, friend, teacher. 6, 8, 5, 6. Nomine Baba Baba Lol Baba Baba Horus Hariru. To that fourth dimension adds our one and only financial sponsor, getting me these. One of the best pair of pants I ever had, plus other, if not, this is the best pair of pants I had in terms of being the military style. They were the best I ever had. That she got me, and another. Isn't that cute? That's beautiful. Somebody did that, probably a kid. See? A child's imagination, and the anthem of the dancing goddess and the dragon empire will be, wow, beautiful. I would ask questions of your children. Oh, maybe the questions are there. What does it say? It says in French. It says, thank you, it's beautiful. Indeed, in French. It is beautiful. I would ask questions, of course. What is it, right? Looks like a fort with the gates made of rocks. See, and there is like a tower and a tower. And gonna leave it. It's a beautiful art. Don't know who made it. It's mysterious, but I like it. See, here it looks like the entrance, and therefore water, so it's kind of like a mini city. Nature is indeed a great artist, and we can use the greatest, Mother Nature. We can use, and we use from her. She dances with her brother the sun to make, create, and produce all fruits, vegetables, and legumes. And now yours truly on this march, continuing in Hawk Island. Hopefully, if it starts raining, I'm gonna just pack everything quickly. Look at this beautiful rock. You can see part of the mountain, because I'm still going down now from the mountain, and I'm going in my neighborhood. I'm gonna pass by the richest, most affluent, in terms of finance, money, economics, not necessarily talent or merit, but in terms of finance, the richest, most affluent neighborhood in Montreal, Hawk Island. Westmount, the third peak, which I showed you on top. of which now I'm coming down on Mount Royal, and I'm going to Westmount because it's in the west. I'm going west. Now I'm going west. That way is west. And Outremont is that other peak. And see this rock. So again, on the Taliban, the dancing goddess, and the Dragon Empire and the Dragon Armies in contrast, position to the Taliban, like I said, for freedom, securing freedom for all. Eat, dance, marry, make love, make love, make love, hug in public. Let the woman dress how she will. Even if you lust, you gotta be honest and say that's you. Vous avez du travail? Tabarnouche, ça va arrêter jamais ça là. Si vous avez du travail à faire, vous autres, ça va jamais finir ça là.
Jamais.
Tabarnouche.
C'est quoi la vidéo?
Ah, moi je fais de l'entraînement physique, je fais de l'entraînement, je fais de l'humour. Mais là je le faisais en anglais là. Je fais de l'entraînement là, tu vois ça fait déjà 1h27 là que je fais de l'exercice sur YouTube. Il parle français, he's speaking English. Si tu veux me checker là, je fais de l'humour, c'est sur Facebook. Adrien le Québécois. Je fais de l'humour, la poésie, de la danse, tout ça là.
Bon.
Mon premier ministre, je vais être pas premier ministre pendant 3 mois, co-premier ministre. Pas de promesse.
Rappelle-moi déjà, c'est
Adrien
Adrien.
le Québécois.
Adrien.
Sur Facebook groupe là, tu me vois faire pour les Canadiens, des poésies, tout ça. Là j'ai un projet artistique qui s'appelle co-premier ministre pendant 3 mois. Je promets 3 choses aux Québécois. Des câlins à Saint-Jean, à tout le monde. De la danse est pleine. Puis lavage des pieds et des mains. C'est tout. Co-premier ministre. Adrien le Québécois. Québécois. B-S-C-O-I-S. Fais de l'humour avec le bécherel, avec des poésies, des choses comme ça. Celle-là. Celle-là, drette là. C'est moi ça.
Je t'envoie une demande.
Mais salut, Jam. Tu vas rire en esti, hein? So I was speaking French, socially distanced, with my brothers and sisters, French Canadians. As you can see, I'm pretty French as well. I'm not, I love the Québécois people. I grew up pretty much in French and English, both sides, many sides, multicultural as well as being multi-ethnic. Half Ashkenazi, half Jew, but I'm pretty much North American, a universal heart rainbow. And you know, if I wouldn't have liked it here among the French Québécois culture, I would have left. I would have left the island of Montreal a long time ago. I would have just started walking east, north. Well, not that north, because if I still walking north, it's gonna be a long way. But I would have probably walked a lot south or east or west. Nah, maybe the east is beautiful too. But nonetheless, I would have walked. And our socially distanced, we did fist up, but as a translation, it was just a little conversation about a little bit about what am I doing. He asked me what am I filming, and I said I'm filming an art. So I told him about my my art. My comedy art, humor, French Canadian humor, which I'm an independent artist, so if I can give my allies and armies pleasure in any way, whether humor, financial, I can't, I need help with that. Sometimes I'm upset, I wish I could go have breakfast at this, and I have no sponsor whatsoever, but man, I could eat a burger at a fast food joint every day, different burgers. I love hamburgers. I love to explore different foods, but if I would afford, I would think I would have a hamburger a day. And I always said to my vegan brothers and sisters, vegans, if they can finance me breakfast, en français c'est déjeuner, lunch, and dîner, dinner, then I'll take it. Until then, it's just blah blah blah. And so, keep going. Tu travail à faire, ma belle? Je vois ça. Ouais, j'aime bien votre fluorescent, c'est bien beau, genre.
Oui, mais même encore, pour que le monde voit,
Ouais, mais moi j'aime ça, la couleur vive, là, tu sais, je sais pas, j'aime ça. T'aimes ça toi aussi? Cool.
ça attire les insectes aussi.
Tabarnak.
Même des papillons qui se posent sur moi.
T'as serré des petits papillons qui viennent te voir?
Ouais.
Ah ouais? Qu'est-ce que tu fais avec?
Mais sur ma main.
Ah, tu m'en montres ça? Tabarnak, t'as 2 mètres de distance, mais je suis vacciné, moi, fait que...
Les affaires du 2 mètres.
Moi, je suis vacciné.
Moi, écouter la nature humaine, je restais à 300 mètres. De
Moi, j'aime ça le câlin, tout la touche. Oh, tabarnak! Oh, qu'elle est belle, je sais pas si c'est à nous, elle.
Ah,
ou oh, check-moi ça, avec tout le petit menu.
Ouais, ça, je te dis.
Wow!
Tu fais ça, là, puis viens.
Tabarnak, mais celle-là, tu dois la mettre en ligne, là.
Everybody tells me, wish.
Yeah, put that one for sure.
But wish. My wish is, I'm already doing my wish, I'm working.
Love you, bro.
Take care, huh?
Bye bye. A butterfly, man, that was nice. A butterfly on the lady. As I said, I like the color. The color is. The workers, they need to be appreciated because they work. They build this civilization, you know. A lot of people are just offering blah blah blah. I offer massages. A lot of people are offering I offer massages as a leader, washing the feet, the hands, giving kisses, although I'm vaccinated. That's what I can offer. Love and practical love, because sometimes blah blah blah, you know, we're sick and tired. I've been sick and tired of organizations, proposals, XYZ. Nothing gets done. Proposals, organizations, that's why I like to be. On the ground, in the trenches, where I have been, where I am, and where I will be. I'll be sitting somewhere in an office. Do it on call. Got papers, bring them to me. Got a march. For my people, my children of the dancing goddess and the dragon empire. Under the stars, on the sun, on earth. The joy, health, wellness of my allies and armies. My well-being. Transport, I could walk, although not cross the ocean, depending on the distance. But if food is secured for me, food, which of course my rent is paid for August. My rent is paid for August. Thank goodness to my sister, friend, and teacher who it's on the ground room office and temple. I pay affordable rent, gotta say, and have been paying affordable rent. But the affordable rent that's why the Dragon Army, or a public-private partnership, from all existing public and private security forces, armed forces, NATO first, North America, Canada, US first, to integrate and absorb and become Dragon Army, officially international citizen integrated social security force, will secure the 3 elements of civilization. Those 3 elements are food, housing and transport by a public-private partnership from all existing private and public institutions and organizations and the global central bank, and the private and the public institutions and organizations. Once you have those 3 elements of civilization secured for all in the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire, Canada from Hawk Island, Montreal, North America, Canada, throughout the Americas first, our allies in NATO, calling Israel to be the 31st member NATO country. Once you have those 3 elements secured, we can encourage people and reward people, socially reward people who volunteer in community organizations who do community work. As I'm volunteering, I've resumed a few months ago my volunteering activities. I love reading to children. Supposedly I'm very good at it, having an artistic inclination, and being an artist, independent artist. And of course I'm in the process. I've written a few, mostly in oral form, a few stories. I've written a few pages about triplets. So about triplets and a dragon and a lion and a human who become friends. And other stories. I put some of them on YouTube, they're there. So, one thought that crossed my mind now. I mean, I've said in the past years I'm not going to take out any videos. If I hurt anybody, and I did, many men, women, perhaps in said comments which seemed perhaps sexual in nature, unwanted, undesired, experienced differently, I'm not perfect. I am not fucking perfect. I'm not a saint. I love loving, and the art of love is, I've been suicidal because of my love or urges, bisexual, homoerotic, interracial, XYZ desires, and other sexual, which I've repressed for more than 13.3 years. Only 7 years ago came out, participating in a few pride parades. I'm open, pansexual, androgynous. I struggle, many understand they struggle for XYZ reasons. Financial, I can understand. You're afraid to lose your job. Alright? Man, at the end of the day, besides owing $10,000 to the Royal Bank of Canada, that bank with that lion emblem with the globe and the sword, $10,000 to them, and past my friend, teacher, who's oftentimes a teacher and one I love and call sister, to that trinity of sister, friend, teacher as the 4th dimension of being, for the moment my one and only financial sponsor. I don't really owe nobody nothing. Been on my own for many years, struggled a lot. The XYZ, still now struggling with the lower part of self, right? Part of my universal spiritual teachings are, I have a sort of a trinity. Look at those bees, 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 beautiful bees, bees, bees. Don't want to disturb the mother nature. This is the greatest artist. Pollinate, pollinate, pollinate. Yeah, I love it how you do it. Yeah, pollinate. Bees, bees, bees. Yeah, I love you because you make honey and you are so sweet. Pollinate, pollinate, pollinate. Pollinate, pollinate, pollinate. Yeah, I love you because you're so sweet. Pollinate. Bees, bees, bees. Pollinate, pollinate, pollinate. On that beautiful bees, bees, bees. Priestess Hannah, the goddess, loves you, mama. Mama, dancing bees for the environment. You gotta finance, lock 'em up. NHL, NFL, NBA, if they don't give us half. I said lock 'em up if they don't give us half. For the dancing goddess army, yep. To secure nature and that civilization with that harmony, yep. Hannah, that the priestess of the goddess. Yeah, I said goddess, ain't no god without a goddess, yep. This the hairs of the trees and this the nectar that you see from the honey, make it bees. That's the sweet that we eat. Yep, look at the beautiful bees. That's that mother nature. That's the goddess. That's the artist. That's so beautiful. Yep, I know you understand this sentence. Don't need to express it better than this. They be working hard as this. They be bees. They're the mother nature needs these trees. Yeah, we need the harmony. Say please on your knees. I can't work ballerina. Yep, can't give love on can't do these knees. Can't squeeze these nuts. Yeah, you see. That's the love and hygiene. Gotta work harder. You to kiss trillion fold. That is revolution made of gold. Priestess, I'm the priestess of the goddess. Yep, you say this is what we need. These trees right here, beautiful bees, and they go. They need the trees, and look at his hairs on the goddess. Yeah, I say goddess dances with her brother the sun to make him produce all this. We gotta twerk that belly one, the only one. Say la 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 la. Priestess of the goddess Hannah. Look how beautiful these bees be, black and golden. Yep, come to mama, ain't your mama. I'm that priestess of the goddess. On your knees, I can't twerk. Yep, NFL, NHL. NBA, they gotta give us half of prayer on those knees. Yep, they done made them millionaires. Now it's time for the selfish ass poison. Got 1 trillion kisses from the goddess. Although I ain't got no money in the pocket. Yep, I say it was retarded. Got the lotion with massage. What a 4 world pieces. Brothers kiss them on the lips. Say they're not alone and we better love and make war. They make war, but gotta do some action. Then the blah blah blahs. That's only blah blah blah. They just do sucking poison. They the poison, selfish, corrupt. Yep, they don't even hug. I don't give a bother what they say about my name. Keep my name out of your mouth. Don't slander me, may you die of pestilence. Yep, I'm wrong. I can forgive but not forget. I'm the priestess of the goddess. They burned me at the stake. Bearded fools chased us out of the temples of the goddess. Fuck them. Yep, let's dance and see. You got only one. Hug them. Priestess of the goddess, and the bees dance with me. For the goddess, you love, I can see. You love, I can see. Not I see. Yeah, be cold as honey, making honey from these beautiful flowers. That's the goddess dances in a trance. That's the word I say with a glance and a glance. Hush them up in that silence. I say these bees, they know what they know, and they mother natures, cause I get to kiss them trillionfold. Yep, I'm the priestess of the goddess, dances with her bird the sun. All these trees are but the hairs on the body of the goddess with her sister up above, infinite space, infinite stars above it. Yep, trillion kisses, although I ain't got no money to give to nobody. Yep, got a rich trillion kisses for my allies and armies. The rest keep my holy name out of your mouth. If it's not for blessing, let it be a lesson. This is holy, this is the lesson. No stress. Only do blah blah blah, paper and pushing, data la la la, corrupt as fuck, burn them all up, lock them up, the tiny cocks. I say what, priestess Hannah twerking on the block. Yeah, give me 1,000 kisses for world peace. Put your fists up, dance with me, priestess of the goddess. The goddess has returned on your knees. With all the god who dances with a soul, sword of freedom. That's the heart to lift up. Give mama, la la la. NFL, NFL, better is give us half. I am playing with you. Better give him listening to me. This is the priestess of the goddess with you. Let me dance with our harmony. They don't give us what the temples with the goddess chased the priestess out of the temple, bearded fools. You see, they don't burn enough for witches at the stake for pleasures. They don't go blah blah blah. They do is must the lessons. This is a lesson, Hannah, priestess of the goddess, motherfucker. Wow, that was the channeling of the goddess. Direct, beautiful poetry. And now just entering. Yeah, I admit it. I'm entering the richest, most affluent, financially, economically, commercially, not necessarily by merit or talent, neighborhood in Hawk Island, aka Montreal, called Westmount. As you can see by the houses. And although I'm $10,000 in debt, my rent is paid for August. Got food to survive a few more weeks to get my $754 from the government. Yep. Fortunately, welfare, social assistance check. I've applied for since the beginning the year many jobs, although during COVID had 3 essential workplace, although essential works, though because of contract there were only a few weeks lived, and no gigs to dance, to work out, not even one donation via PayPal yet. Still waiting for my first donation via PayPal for a video. Put the info there on my Raw Real Revolutionary channel. Perhaps a commission if you want to commission work video, a dance video, a training video, or rant video. Free to do so. Commission artistic, athletic, or activist work. We're walking by one of the richest, most affluent financially, not necessarily by merit. Some of this wealth is second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh generation. This is beautiful. Well, I think it was sold. This was for sale. I think it still is. The dancing goddess and the dragon army. Here you can call the phone number and say, this donate to Adrian Hannah Dragon, donate to Adrian Hannah Dragon, donate to Adrian Hannah Dragon, to be office for the dancing goddess and the dragon empire, which are one empire in the sun and stars on earth, for world peace, to be a house. I wonder how much it is. It looks like it needs a lot of work, but the official color of the dancing goddess army, green, is there. And of course, I'm wearing both. The red is the color of the dragon army, and green the color of the dancing goddess army. And of course, green and red, you can see it in my room office and temples a lot. So yours truly on this marching, working out, training, exercising, general war integrated full body training system, passing to the richest, most affluent neighborhood in Hawk Island, Montreal. Some of it is second, third, fourth generation. Wow. It looks like I'm gonna have to go around the bout. See, there were all those workouts there. So can't go through there. We're gonna go around about it, because my favorite street is sunny side, and so we'll go to the park. There's a bird sanctuary park there. This major part of Sunnyside was blocked there, so for construction. So back roundabout, head of a general war integrated total body training system workout, imagining of course scenarios, food, housing and transport is going to be secured, and cases are increasing of COVID in Montreal, Hawk Island. Yesterday we have most cases since May. So in more than 77 days, we had like 418 new cases yesterday, Monday. See? This would be a nice donation. And of course, the cases increase, it could be a lockdown, although on the COVID passport, I say that it's a democratic issue, ethical issue, and moral issue. Ethical, moral, and democratic dilemma, right? Because essentially we're discussing about restricting, denying, and limiting access to our fellow brothers and sisters, citizens who have not, for XYZ reasons, whatever it is, fear or prejudice or misunderstanding or paranoia about the not getting vaccinated. So about those who are non-vaccinated, or myself and twice vaccinated Pfizer, I'm willing to get the third jab if need be. But nonetheless, the question is that, right? We are fundamentally asking that we will deny access to services, goods, public buildings, spaces to the unvaccinated, those who for XYZ reasons will not get vaccinated. So employment, and so requiring people for XYZ employment opportunities, social services. Oh, look at the grapes. There's the bird sanctuary here. Split the species of birds right there that are in danger. So this whole area is an endangered species sanctuary. I don't know all the species of birds that are there, but there are many species of birds that are endangered. It's a good thing. So right now I'm on the top of West Mount. Because I was on top of Mount Royal. Now I'm on the top West Mount, and I'm gonna go down. It takes about 77 to 93 minutes from here to where I live, in a more modest neighborhood, although because of my sister friend teacher I moved a little bit up from where I was living before. A few years I lived in Côte des Neiges, you know, the most multicultural, multi-ethnic, multi-racial, and fortunately very good people, karma people I met from all different worlds. Plus there's more than 156 languages spoken just in Côte des Neiges borough. Imagine. But nonetheless, more than 156 languages spoken there, but it's also the poorest financially, not necessarily in karma or talent or merit, but and the most populated of Montreal, of Hawk Island Montreal, but the most financially, commercially, economically poor, where I used to live a few years ago. Oh, that's the Council of Korea residency. And so there's a lot of questions. I don't know. I'm looking at cell phone towers. I think those are 3G or even 4G, 5G. I know a little bit. Like I said, in a parallel life, science, innovation, and technology would have been a chosen path. So I was a child dreamer. I still am a dreamer and a nerd at heart in many ways. I was dreaming of discovering fusion. And paradoxically, in my past years of struggle, pain, suffering, I've written my theory, which now is birthed during this COVID the dancing goddess and the dragon empire and the phoenix people's party, the anti-war, anti-poverty, anti-racism, universal revolutionary centrist party, in a political theory for the 21st century, where I believe universal revolutionary centrism is embodied by principles of democratic Republican fusion, meaning that the 21st century should be public-private partnerships to attain harmony between civilization and nature, and to secure freedom. Look at that. And to secure freedom. As I'm not a fascist, not a communist, my universal revolutionary centrism, right? And my theories about, paradoxically years later, about after dreaming of world peace by discovering fusion, nuclear fusion, as what we have now is nuclear fission, where the bombs is based, and hydrogen, paradoxically hydrogen bomb is stronger, although the element H is the lightest paradox of air. H is 1, right? H as in hydrogen, but the hydrogen bomb is more powerful than the fission bomb. It's a paradox, and fusion is what we have in the sun, right? As opposed to fission, which is more polluting and radiation, and fusion. So transmitted years later, as yours truly struggling and reading books and struggling with XYZ, coming from poverty and struggle and loneliness, and not having support. Paradoxically, a child, God, perhaps supports me in many ways. Another paradox. But anyways, democratic fusion is my theory for the 21st century. As I believe, of course, the 20th century was dominated by the two major ideologies, which kind of in many ways identical in the bargain, right, in the deal. Fascism and communism both led to authoritarianism, to totalitarianism, to repression of liberty and freedom, which freedom and liberty must be secured, and secured by securing those elements of survival: food, housing, and transport in a civilization, right? Look at that. That is the south. You can see part of the river there. That is the south part of Hawk Island, Montreal. You can see now that we're still up on the mountain, as this is Westmount. So now I'm going slowly down. Down. From here usually takes me about 77 minutes to 93 minutes to reach headquarters back home. So of course my own theory developed over many years of democratic fusion based on the philosophy of centrism, universal revolutionary centrism. What I mean is universal, and you have to have the global, think international, global civilization with the peculiar individual cultures, etc. that we have. And universal, be worldwide for world peace, right? And to attain harmony between civilization and nature, to build an economy for purpose and pleasure. Because the body is a temple of purpose and of pleasure, to help others, to do etc, 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 YZ, right? We do. And the psychology, right? As my universal revolutionary teachings, spiritual teachings, there's a realness to it. It's like we have been and are struggling with freedom and liberty, right? With a high technologically advanced civilization, right? And the civilization is advanced technology, and some of the technologies we don't fully understand, right? All these are new. The internet, right, has caused shockwaves and is causing shockwaves. And how do we deal with it? The question of decentralized, right? And the question of corporations economic inequality, right? All of these hard, tough questions, which, you know, I look in a pile of life. I said science, innovation, and technology would have been a path, right? And I look at satellites, right? As a child, I was dreaming of building on satellites. In theory, I know a little bit how they work, right? I can imagine and deduct and speculate. They have antennas, they have to have transceivers and receivers such as radio to send waves and information. And the information can be from above, in photos or in audio, or it can be from below, right, to look at the satellites. And I have to say Canada, as a Canadian, North American, although universal, in 1961, Alouette won, and 1962 and 1963. I'm not sure if it's 61, 62 or 63, it could be. Canada became the third country to launch a satellite in the sky, right? The Alouettes, I think 1, 2 or 3 in telecommunications. And so now my question to Elon Musk is, I got a Brazilian 1,000 questions about Starlink. Of course, I'm a fan of Elon Musk, supporter. I love SpaceX, space rocketry. One of my favorite scientists, along with others, is Jack W. Parsons. Well, Jack Parsons is not that well known, although he is in many ways the founder, if you will, the father, although he was bisexual like me, etc., etc., of modern rocketry. So to develop the ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, of which I have to say that I'm alarmed because last year Korea with the Hwangdong Hangwon 16, they're able to reach Montreal, Hawk Island. So in theory, a missile could be coming right now from North Korea to anywhere on the continental North American. We have NORAD, North, for the radar. Canada and US joined together military operations for radar to detect airplanes, military airplanes, which are or non-civilian or unidentified airplanes that enter North American space. Not enter North American space. NORAD. So, but in theory, a missile could be heading our way now from north. See, I'm in the corner, Sunnyside, my favorite street. Sunnyside and Gordon Crescent. And so in theory, a missile could be heading look at that beauty. That's a beauty. In theory, a missile could be heading our way from North Korea. Their new intercontinental ballistic missile could be heading our way. It could reach Montreal, Hawk Island, or New York, or anywhere on the East Coast, and the West Coast and Central, of course, because North Korea is that way, which is west, and North Korea is after the Pacific Ocean, right? The Atlantic is that way, and the Pacific is that way. So we'll come from that way somewhere west, where I'm heading back to my headquarters out west. I'm gonna head west now. And so in theory, the missile could be heading now towards us from North Korea with a nuclear arm. It could be hitting anywhere on the, and this was revealed in October 31st, I believe, at midnight or something. So the missile could be heading our way now from North Korea, and we wouldn't even, I mean, the NORAD would detect it, That's why I've been calling this part of the Dragon Army mass financing of something that the Israelis have called the Iron Dome, based on a public-private partnership, such with Elon Musk, of course, has the capability with a public-private partnership. I'm calling on what the USA plus our allies, NATO waste. Some say waste. I'm not gonna say waste because something is to be gained from pain, suffering, and bloodshed. As I believe my pain, suffering, and struggle haven't been in vain. And if anything happens, I die of COVID or accident, my friend, oftentimes teacher, the one I love and call sister, fourth dimensional, my one and only financial sponsor at the moment. I want her to take over the dancing goddess and the Dragon Army and the Phoenix People's Party and continue my Adrian Hannah's work for world peace. Oh, look at the hawks. There's my hawk. Beautiful black and white hawk. Anyways, I want her to continue. So, in theory, back to what I said, a missile could come from North Korea. NORAD would probably intercept, but anyways, I'm calling it something in the... So let's say how much money to spend on the war in Afghanistan, right? With NATO, Canada, US, let's say. For us to take that amount of money into with Elon Musk and public and private partnership, doesn't have to be competitive, it's got to be cooperative, and to have something similar to the Iron Dome, such as they have in Israel, to protect us from the missiles, ICBMs from North Korea. I don't know, I heard the number is something about like $1 trillion or something like that. I'm not necessarily sure about the amount, but it could be something like that. I can build it with all willingly loving Israeli joint North American tech, and of course have it right here in Hawk Island, Montreal. Right? And protect the whole, have 3, one in Hawk Island, Montreal, one on the west coast, somewhere on an island or somewhere like Hawk Island, Montreal is an island, or and in the center, somewhere in the continental. In the continental North America, to be able to intercept east, west, and center. Continental US. That's what I would do. So back to Jack W. Parsons, Whiteside Parsons. One of my favorite scientists, is not that well known. You're probably gonna have to Google. It makes me think of a few years ago on a bus before COVID, was discussing with some students who were heading to McGill, and I heard them speaking about something. And I said, "Oh, that's cool. You know a lot about that." And they said, "Oh, a little bit. We just learned in school because we're taking finance." So I asked, I said, "Oh, you guys are in finance?" They said, "Yeah, we're studying finance." And I said, "Well," I said, "I hope you guys see that sunny side. See?" I said, "I hope you guys gonna work for BlackRock." See, SUNNA, sunny side. Interesting number there. 718 Victoria. 718. 718. It's a holy number for Victoria. So anyways, I was discussing with them. I said, well, and they didn't know. They said, for who? I said, well, I'm blessing you so that you could have a job for Black Rock. And they were, McGill University is one of the best universities in Canada, and Montreal the best in terms of reputation. Tradition is more than 156 years old, is from the 1800s, time of Confederation in 1867, or even before that, or 13 years after Confederation. And they didn't know who Black Rock is. And there's so many things I don't know. Look at this computer. I know it's XYZ, it's made here, there. It has these capabilities, but there's so many things I don't know. Like, where did all the parts come from? Who assembled them? Where? Who developed the software for this camera? Though it's not the best, a voice in my message is the most important, I guess, besides being superficial. Or those, see? See, those are, I think that's even 1G or 2G or 3G older telecommunications. They're big, they're huge, like more than 2 meters on the building there. The same color as the building, so that they blend in. They're cell phone, right, with smartphones. I don't think there's 1G anymore, but somewhere, of course, there is 1G still functioning. Not all things that are old are bad, right? Like the sun, what do we do without him? Although the sun is increasing in strength, right? Such as I believe our urge to love has been in the past decades. See? How many things do we know about that? I mean, maybe even the ones who put them there don't really know the whole inner details of the telecommunications or how it all works. We find out by questions and then speculation and answers. I mean, somebody knows, because somebody designed them and created them in a lab in an experiment. But just looking at them like that, I could say what? What can I say? Well, they look to be this high. Look about my height. Maybe anywhere between what, 3 feet and 7 feet from this angle. How heavy? I'm not sure. Maybe not that heavy. Maybe heavy enough. How much do I know about this truck? Maybe it weighs about a ton. Maybe it weighs 2 tons, 3 tons. So we gotta ask questions to discern. So I'm open to all. My policy is ask me anything. I might give you a yes, might give you a no, might give you a maybe. Or a 4th dimension to yes, no, maybe. Go fuck yourself. Anyways, I am pro masturbation. Masturbation is pleasurable with hygiene. See there, those 3Gs, I think they're 3Gs, although they could be from 1G and 2Gs. I'm gonna cross like a good citizen. So they're there, and on the other side, they're for cell phones, smartphones. So I know a little bit about their weight. What do they have inside? Cables. Where do those cables go? What do they connect to? Well, computer hardware somewhere, right? And how does our software connect? Telecommunications. Well, through waves, right? Particle waves, radio waves, different waves which are not seen to the naked eye but are there. So we got to put things under the microscope, such as COVID, right? The spectrum of light. The spectrum of light has different spectrums, has light this, light that, has many different lights. How much do I know? Look, now I'm speculating big buildings. How many Dragon soldiers would take me to secure this road that I'm now passing, these big buildings? And would I have to do it on a what? Weekly basis? Will probably have to be on a weekly basis, right? What about those buildings there? Well, seems to be XYZ. Few a few families here and there. And how much would the Dragon Army have to secure the food, the housing, right? Because in my requirements, 40 days to have food enough for each citizen, allies, supporter and subject of the dancing goddess and the Dragon Empire of all ages to have their individual little fridge. Of course, fridge for kids, toddlers and adults. Toddlers, kids, adolescents and adults. So let's say 3 types of fridges to hold 40 days worth of food in case COVID variants explode, and for future generations if a pandemic strikes, then we'll be in the dancing goddess and the Dragon Empire, the Empire of the Dragon, a new race born of free. Oh, to have food secured for those 40 days with all existing public and private partnerships and all existing public and private food producers, distributors, and of course can be restaurants, all LL. So back to Jack W. Parsons, not that well known. I mean, he's more well known to some than others. Jack W. Whiteside Parsons was a scientist, mystic, and he was credited being one of the founders of NASA, National Aeronautics Space Administration, the JPL, not Jewish Public Library, where I used to be a member. I'm still a member, I think. But the jet propulsion, labs. He developed rocket solid fuel, tested with rocket solid fuel, which I believe has been used in many of the rockets even used by SpaceX, based on those original designs of the 30s, 40s and 50s to launch rockets. And many of the ICBMs work because of that. And the rockets to be launched into space are credited that he's the founding father of modern rocketry. So modern rocketry, everything that has to do with launching rockets into space exploration. ICBMs for warfare and intercontinental ballistic missiles, many developed during the Cold War, Soviets, USSR, United Socialist Soviet Republics, USA, United States of America, and India has some, China, and of course North Korea, with the latest one that they warring a few years ago. It can reach all the way to Hawk Island, Montreal, any place on the continental North America, so East Coast, West Coast, Central, any city on the East Coast. New York is in the reach, Florida, Tampa Bay, Georgia. So anyway, so I would get the money that was financed for Afghanistan to secure here with our allies, North America, Canada, US, the NATO member countries, members, armies, all ALL, public and private security forces of North Atlantic Treaty Organization member nation and countries, NATO member countries, private and public security forces with armed forces. You got to be able to do the 300 workout, officially titled General War Integrated Total Body Training System. General War Integrated Total Body Training System. If you want to be a member of the Dragon Army, this applies to existing. We just started today in the NATO Army as a cadet or low rank or medium rank or high ranking general, lieutenants, 2-star general, 3-star general, 4-star, 5-star. There only has been 2 in the US history of 6-star generals, Pershing and credited to Washington post-mortem. You got to be able to do the General War Integrated Total Body Training System. within the rules. So you got 93 minutes to do 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 hawks. That trinity of exercises: push-ups, squats, and hawks. 93 minutes to do 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 hawks. That trinity, 93 minutes, maximum 13 reps per set, minimum 3, or anywhere in between. Do 10 reps 10 times like me to get to 100 for each of that trinity: squats, push-ups, hawks. Maximum 13, minimum 3. Those two numbers go together. 13 and 3. And push-ups and hawks and squats, 100 for each. And you gotta be able to march, jog. Vote for Dragon. Don't vote for them. Dragon, knock them all out. That's my campaign slogan. To march, jog, walk fast pace, minimum 31 seconds in between each set. So if you do 13 push-ups, you gotta march, jog, walk fast pace, a minimum of 31 seconds in between each. That's it. That's the examination for all willingly loving to become a member of the Dragon Army. Accept the non-sectarian, securing freedom with world peace, international justice, to dress how you will, dance, love how you will, encourage hygiene, exercise, love, love, love. Want to see people in the public domain, which is this, because when in my private domain, when I go in my underground room, house, and temple, that is my private domain, although share a lot of my private life. When you go in public, we have responsibilities and duties. And if I see people there making love, they're kissing, more hugging, more loving, the better. My sisters start kissing the brothers. Take them by the hand and kiss them in the name of the goddess. Hug them hard, say we understand, we love you. And love guide, love is action, not just blah blah blah. Right?
Closed on Tuesday.
And some love and some hugs. And some kisses. And some food and some lotion and some hygiene. Disinfectant. And dancing. Dancing, loving, working out, training, exercising, sharing is caring. The rest is a lot of commentary, philosophy, and a lot of it is unnecessary. Sometimes we gotta simplify things, make it easier. Sometimes we get complicated too much, doesn't serve us good. Don't vote for this guy, vote for Dragon. My campaign slogan, Dragon, knock them all out. Still challenging Trump to a boxing match at the Canadian-US border for world peace to impose tariffs, aluminum and steel tariffs on Canada a few years back. Still challenging him for it. For a boxing match on the Canadian-US border in a rink made of Canadian aluminum and steel for world peace. And Monkland, looks like it's gonna rain a bit, and it's already started to rain. Let's go. And so that is the call, and all willingly loving from NATO. So even if you're a 5-star ranking general, you gotta be able to do the general war integrated total body training system within the rules. The rules are simple. You got 93 minutes to do 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 hawks. Maximum 13 repetitions per set, minimum 3. Anywhere in between 7, 8, 9, 10 between each. 13, 3 go together, 93 is another number to remember, and 31 for the minimum seconds of marching, jogging, walking, fast pace that are required in between. You gotta march, jog, walk, fast pace. Average is about an hour for me with the minimum. Have completed 213. Paradoxically, in a parallel providential way, started it October 2019, made, created and produced to go hand in hand with a World War III scenario, which in a nearly providential paradoxical way resembles the COVID-19 health and financial crises. And paradoxically, since it resembles it, the stock market crash, of course, occurring in real life due to COVID, that's what I began advocating for. The creation of the International Citizen Integrated Social Security Force, aka the Dragon Army, just as envisioned in my scenario. I'm gonna take a alternative route, let's see, because this is a lot of populated street and I want to continue with my rant. So it's gonna be, although on the parallel, but perhaps on the other side maybe it's gonna be better. Anyways, see, Monkland, corner Monkland and Giroir, NDG now. And so paradoxically, since my workout resembles the COVID-19 health and financial crisis, that's what I began advocating for. The creation of the International Citizen Integrated Social Security Force, aka the Dragon Army, from all existing public and private organizations and institutions, security forces, public and private, and fuse and absorb the Dragon Army, create this new institution, the Dragon Army, in parallel, complementary covenant with the Dancing Goddess Army, in order to secure food, housing and transport for all and organize mass dancing events for the mass cleaning of the oceans, waterways, rivers, lakes by the Global Central Bank, which to be created for a global currency of exchange, preferably biometrics. The hand, the eye and the voice are unique biometrics, and by a public-private partnership, by my theory of debt refusion, refusing all public and private debt, creating the number, taking whatever the number is, to create a global central bank to issue a universal currency of exchange, to mass finance the two institutions, Dragon Army and the Dancing Goddess Army, just paradoxically as envisioned in my scenario. Paradoxical providential parallel, as in my scenario is identical in many ways.
Gabby, wait at the corner.
I mean, the stock market crash was very identical due to COVID, which occurred.
But call anyway, it doesn't hurt.
I was hoping this is gonna. So just as envisioned in my scenario, paradoxically in a providential way, the COVID-19 health and financial crisis began with the stock market crash, which began February 20th, 2020 and ended about April 7th, just like yours truly was. When I started healing, because I was sick end of January, had COVID end of January until about February 20th. Before mass testing was available, although the official first case in Quebec was February 27, 2020. So when I was sick with COVID, it was a few weeks before, right? Just a few weeks before. So I might have been the first case to COVID in Montreal, Hawk Island, from all we know. So paradoxical in a providential way, just like the COVID. Stock market crash in my scenario, and since due to COVID, stock market crash, I began advocating for the creation of the Dragon Army since July 24th. See another. Those are two. 4G, that's even 5G because they look near. So how much do I really know? I don't know a lot. I have questions. But one thing I do know is that before COVID, 93 days, yours truly, alarmed by what was going on in the world, namely the US-China trade war, the arrest of Meng Wanzhou by the Canadian authorities in order to honor an extradition treaty with the USA, and that my scenario resembled the COVID health and financial crisis in many ways. And that's what I began advocating for. mass financing, the creation of the International Integrated Dance League, the International Citizen Integrated Social Security Force, aka the Dragon Army. Since in my scenario there was the solution. That's what since COVID I'm advocating for, began advocating for since July 24th. A lot of things I don't know what caused COVID. I got my trinity of beliefs, which hasn't changed and will not change. This has been, is, and will be my trinity on COVID. First and foremost, I do not know what caused COVID. Second, I believe it was transmitted from snakes to human beings. And third, since don't know for sure, my belief is not confirmed that snakes transmitted to human beings. COVID, that is, I cannot rule out another possibility. Be it X, be it Y, be it Z, whatever it is. XYZ, man-made virus, accident in a lab, experiment gone wrong, or bioweapon. I don't know for sure. I believe it was snakes to human beings. Since don't know for sure, might confirm, my belief is not confirmed. 100% there's a doubt, and when there's a doubt, there's other possibilities. XYZ, man-made virus, bioweapon, experiment gone wrong, accident in the lab. What I do know without a doubt, 100%, is that before COVID, 93 days before COVID, yours truly, November 2019, created a workout program, officially titled the General War Integrated Total Body Training System. Well, 7 words, General War Integrated Total Body Training System translates as the 300 workout designed, made, and created to go hand in hand with a World War III scenario, which in an eerie, paradoxical, providential way resembles the COVID-19 health and financial crisis. And since it resembles it, and since in my scenario the solution to World War III, which in my scenario was triggered, spawned by a global financial collapse, a stock market crash just like it happened in COVID, that's what I began advocating for. A little bit of workout. The creation of the International Integrated Social Security Force, aka the Dragon Army, in order to, from existing public and private security forces, armed forces of Montreal, Hawk Island, Canada, North America, US, NATO, allies, member countries, and all existing public and private security forces, in order to secure food, housing, and transport for all by a public-private partnership. Since that's eerie, I had COVID, Recommend everybody gets vaccinated, get tested, wash your hands often with soap when you go in and out of public buildings, banks, grocery stores, offices. I know this is a lot past weeks with the cases going down. People going back to old habit, old ways. Now washing your hands. Oh, gotta get the Dragon Army. Make sure you wash your hands. Hopefully you start becoming a habit. Hygiene. Changed a lot of my habits during COVID as I died. Adrian H. Dragon died during COVID. But be understood. And reborn, yours truly, Adrian H. Hannah Dragon. Androgynous pansexual founder of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Army. Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Army, one empire under the sun and stars on earth. Complementary, cooperative armies. One to attain harmony between civilization and with nature. The other one to secure food, housing, and transport. That's general philosophy. With love, tell the leaders of the free world yours truly, Dragon Zero's message. A storm is coming. As much as I love a sunny day like this August 17, which is the hottest month, as Leo, the sun is in Leo. The month. The month of Leo. Month of the Lion. Until next week, August 23rd. It's the hottest. Much as I love the month of Leo. Paradoxically, providential, Peril way, hottest. I love it. This is my favorite season. Favorite with another. Paradoxical, Peril of Providence. I also love me a Scorpio. Late October, early November. Stormy, thunderous lightning. Day of rain, thunder, and lightning. All terrain, Rainbow Dragon. On the march. This movie night. Breaking personal fitness records. Waiting here a bit. Careful for my children, future children of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire. Future children of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire and the Phoenix People's Party. The anthem of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire, which are one empire and the sun and stars on earth. The Phoenix People's Party. It can be music of all genres, techno, piano, sounds of nature, but there's no official lyrics. But there is some noise, and the noise and the lyrics in many ways will be children laughing, playing, and loving. This will be the anthem of the dancing goddess in the Dragon Empire. No words, no lyrics. Can be instrumental music, a little bit of rock, mixed with a little bit of rap, mixed with a little bit of classic and fusion of styles. Piano and flute and trumpets and bells and bells and bells. But however, there's no lyrics, but children laughing and playing and giggling and having fun and loving. Laughing children will be the anthem of the dancing goddess and the Dragon Empire. I'm gonna repeat that. The anthem of the dancing goddess and the Dragon Empire. Although it can have instrumental music XYZ, it will be children laughing, children playing, children enjoy. That will be the anthem. No lyrics. No, just those sounds. The sound of children playing and loving and laughing will be the anthem of the dancing goddess and the Dragon Empire and the Phoenix People's Spy. And do some more squat push, squat hawks right here. Well, that was fun. A bit of a sweaty one. It'll be 3 hours. At 3 hours, the video will stop. That's all you got. Besides, you don't want me longer videos than 3 hours. With each step, each push-up, each hawk, each squat, each dance move, your stool is being reborn. It's Adrian Hannah Dragon. With every push-up, every squat, every hawk, every push-up, every step, every squat hawk. Because we become Dragon Zero. Nobody's born a dragon. Hydrate. Nobody's born a dragon. You become one through blood, sweat, and tears. Push-ups, hawks, squats. Get ready. freedom, securing freedom by securing food, housing, and transport via public-private partnership, and then encouraging people to work out, train, volunteer, do art, community work, and reward people thereof. To do them. Reward people, our fellow brothers and sisters, citizens, to do them thereof. And encourage and support art, dancing, public, and integration, rather than since 1984 has happened a lot of specialization, but now we need with the dancing artists in the Dragon Army more integration. March, a few more minutes till we reach three hours. It's gonna stop and just in time at least. Looks like it's about to rain. Close to headquarters. Anyways, here smells good, although there's some smell of cigarettes. I quit a long time ago. Cigarettes, recreational cannabis user sometimes, and for legalizing all drugs. Three minutes and 58 seconds, just in time. Mother Nature, my goddess who dances with the birth of the sun, makes clouds, storms. Sun clears the storms and makes rainbows. It's Rainbow Dragon. marching. It's 3:46 p.m. EST. Should be to headquarters by 3:58, if not 4:18. I will take a detour to give me some. It's movie night with my friend. It's oftentimes a teacher, the one I love and call sister. Fourth dimension to that Trinity, sister, friend, teacher. One and only financial sponsor at the moment. I'm gonna go check if I can get me some chips. I got chocolate milk, so I'm good for movie night. We'll do some close-up squat hawk. I felt a bit weird than usual. I can do like this. Squat hawks. Squat, squat, squat. Gonna need a shower once I get back home. I get a shower by nature. Starting, I'll get me my chips though. Although I'm craving some, nicely craving some Chinese food from a place there on Summerlet in NDG, which is affordable, but can't spend any more money. Got $13 budget to last me for 2 more weeks. All the rent's paid, electricity's paid, cell phone is half paid. Anyways, paradoxically getting in the fittest, strongest, most athletic condition of my life. Struggled across the great desert. Nobody's born a dragon, not even myself with surname DRAGAN. The blood, sweat, and tears to turn that A into an O. If love, 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 love is action, for my allies and armies offer you trillions of kisses, rubs, tickles. If I can bring you some pleasure to body and spirit and mind, Allies Armies I will. Just ask policy. Washing of the feet, washing, massaging of the hands. Make sure you get hygiene. Clean your hands when you go in and out of the public buildings such as a bank, an office. Well, that's a good fun. What's a 9? It's not gonna fit me. I get blisters. But nonetheless, under other circumstances, is a 9. It's too small for me. Somebody else will appreciate it, although I do need a pair of shoes. Dragon 0, 10 seconds to go. Loves the law, love on the will, do what thou wilt, be the whole of the law, securing freedom, ensuring liberty.